Good evening, and welcome to our transition evening today, sort of at Blessed Hugh Farringdon School, but not quite. I'm very conscious this might be a strange way of doing this, but I do hope it will be an enjoyable and an informative evening for you anyway, and thank you for joining us. I'm Simon Utley. I'm the head teacher of Blessed Hugh Farringdon. It's been a pleasure over the years to visit a number of the primary schools from which the children are coming in September, and we're really excited about them coming to our school. And as I always say, and hopefully you saw the video that we did for your child a few weeks ago, it's going to make the school that much better by having your child at our school. So we're really excited about them coming to the school. So we're going to begin, as we always do, with a prayer. In the Father, the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. And this is the school prayer, Blessed Hugh Farringdon. Father, pour out your Spirit upon our school and grant us a renewed vision of your glory, so that we may experience your power, be faithful to your word, and consecrate ourselves to your service. We pray that your love may grow among us and your kingdom come through Christ our Lord. Amen. Blessed Hugh Farringdon, pray for us. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. So, I think there's an elephant in the room, as they say, this year for all of us, for the children at primary school and for us here at Blessed Hugh, which of course is coronavirus. And I wanted just to say a couple of things about that, but without dwelling on it, because we're looking forward to your child having a really exciting and positive time when they arrive at Blessed Hugh, and that's absolutely what we're going to make sure happens to them. At the moment, as you know, schools are affected. They are impacted by COVID-19 in different ways. So one of the obvious implications is that at the moment we can't welcome your children into school for the transition day. Now, we're keeping that under review, as all the secondary schools are in Reading, and if there's any change to that before the end of the term, of course, we will look to see what else we can do. So at the moment, you've had the video from us. There'll be another video coming through very soon, and this evening, of course, and also the webinar that will go with this evening for you to have a look at your leisure as well. So, a couple of things about this evening. We're going to be I'm joined by our head of year, Ms. Heaver, and by the tutor team. And I'm very pleased to have Jay Ashley, who's our IT network manager, who's also helping bring this evening together. So thank you for your patience in anticipation, because this is the first time we've done this. So we'll do our best. And thanks to Jay for the work he's doing as well to make this happen this evening. So the whole point of the transition evening and everything we do at this stage in the year is to make your child feel as happy and as excited as possible about the new move to the school, which means to explain a bit more about the school, explain what we do, to help overcome some of the obstacles and concerns and fears. And we recognize that some of those anxieties will be heightened this year because of what everyone's going through. But we've got a fantastic team at Blessed Hugh Farringdon. I'm very proud to be the head of this school, and this is a superb tutor team, and they're also supported by our in-school counsellors, pastoral support team, and a whole variety of other people who are responsible for making the school really have an enviable reputation for the quality of care, guidance and support across Reading and beyond. So there's a whole wraparound that goes with your child's move into our school, and we really hope that that's something that will help you and help them be reassured that it's going to be okay. It's going to be better than okay. It's going to be great, but it will just take a little bit of a different time. Now, you might be thinking, well, what are we doing in September in Blessed Hugh? And I'd be saying, well, what are we doing in September in secondary schools across the country? Because at the moment, we're still finding our way. I think all the children will be back. I think that may or may not be all at once. It may be a rota. We just don't know at the moment because the national guidance isn't there. So I can't give any more definitive answer than that. But we're hoping, and my expectation is that we will all be back in one form or the other in September. Sorry, I can't be more specific, but we're reliant on the same guidance as your child's primary heads are relying on at the moment, and that's kind of where we are, I'm afraid. This is an exciting time, as I said, and this is very much the beginning of a relationship, and this is an important thing. And one of the things in the 4 or so years I've been ahead of the school that I've been really keen to emphasize is that when we talk about parents and carers and grandparents and aunties and uncles as partners in your child's success, that's not just us being nice. We really believe that. I think that too often in secondary schools, we forget those valuable insights of the primary school around bringing people together, around having a really good relationship with families and so on. And it can almost be when a child goes to secondary school that somehow they're kind of taken away from you as parents. That's not what we're about in this school. In fact, just the reverse. We want to very much bring you back into this. And that's why everything we do will hopefully help resource you to support your child, to know what's going on, and to make sure that when the odd problem comes along, and over 7 years, because of course we have a sixth form, so it's year 7 to 13, of course there'll be the odd problem every now and again, but by working with us, hopefully that will be a real assurance that we can resolve it and we can move forward. So this relationship that we're investing in right from the outset is really important. It's important for us as teachers, it's also important for your child, and it's important for you as families as well, because you're very much part of that story. Now, today, this evening, there's going to be a range of slides presented by Ms. Heaver. She'll be answering a lot of questions that you may have. She's already been responding to people who've been asking questions, and thank you very much for those questions. There'll be more questions this evening, we're aware of that, and we'll build up a kind of FAQ, of frequently asked questions, at the end of this evening so that we can cover as many of these as possible. Please don't worry this evening if you're not able to ask the question or you don't feel it's been quite answered. There is an email address. Please contact us at any time and we will do our very best to turn that answer around to you as quick as we possibly can do. So don't feel this is your one chance for the next few months to ask questions. That's not the case at all. This evening is about welcoming you and introducing the team, the fantastic team of people, or some of them, the fantastic team of people. I hope we'll get everybody who will be very much part of your son and daughter's experience in year 7. So that's the kind of background, really. So without further ado, and first of all, again, thank you for joining us in this strange format. But without further ado, I want to hand over now to Ms. Heaver, who will be head of year 7. Who will take us forward and take us through some of the key insights that hopefully will start to make us all feel really excited and looking forward to September. I'm certainly excited, and Ms. Heaver will help your son and daughter hopefully feel excited and reassured. Ms. Heaver.
Thank you, Dr. Utley. Hello, good evening. It's nice to, well, I'd like to say meet you all, but obviously that's not the case. My name is Miss Heaver, and I'm thankful that I've been at this school for 18 years now, so not long in the tooth, but enough to know what's going on. I really hope that this evening we'll be able to, like Dr. Utley has said, get through some information for you and give your child and yourselves a little bit more information about the procedures and protocols of how things happen with regards to the situation in school when they do start in September. So, among many achievements and awards that we've had at Blessed Hugh Farringdon, we're very thankful in the fact that we have a high standard and we've been seen as outstanding by the Portsmouth Diocese, as well as good for Ofsted, and we're due more Ofsted as it comes, but no doubt we'll be of a very high standard and maintaining it as we go. Blessed Hugh Farringdon has a very specific way that we have a Hugh Farringdon way that the students and the teachers have actually created this together. This religious focus allows us to be more unified as a community. You can see that we use the BHF way, which aids our staff and our students in becoming the best that they can whilst at the school. It guides the students into becoming a more well-rounded person with belief, happiness, family, caring and service. This is woven into our everyday experiences in school through tutor time, PSHE lessons, whole school masses, celebrations, assemblies, and of course RE lessons, but to name a few. Now within the school in the year 7, I obviously will head up the year and look after your child and yourselves through their time at Blessed Hugh. But to aid me in that, I have 6 tutors who will be with us, and we're hoping that you can actually see them this evening, and you'll be able to hear from them as well. I have, first of all, Miss J. Brennan, who is 7DB, and hopefully we can hear from her now.
Hello, I'm Miss Brennan. I am going to be 7DB's tutor. I'm really looking forward to meeting you all. I'm a science teacher. My favourite science is biology.
Thank you, Miss Brennan. Our next tutor that we have is Mr. Windybank.
Good evening, I'm Mr. Windybank. I'm going to be looking after 7MK. I'm the head of music, and like I say, I'm looking forward to meeting all your children in September, or possibly earlier.
Thank you, Mr. Windybank. Our next tutor that we have is Miss L. Brennan.
Hello, I'm Miss L. Brennan. I am going to be the tutor for 7ML. I am a science teacher as well. I specialise in physics.
Thank you, Miss Brennan. We have Mrs. Majek.
Hello, my name is Mrs. Majek, and I have been working at Hugh Farringdon since 2007. I work in the MFL department. I support students with English as a second language, and I am trainee counsellor. I will be 7OR tutor, and I'm very much looking forward to meeting all the students, hopefully in September.
Thank you, Miss Majek. We do have Miss McCarthy, but unfortunately I don't think she could join us this evening. And she will be taking 7MT, and she is second in RE. We also have Mr. Shiston, who will be a new teacher joining with us, who will be taking 7BL. Now, these are all the tutors that we have with us, and they are experienced tutors. They've had students all the way throughout the year, so they've been year 11 tutors now, and they're coming back to year 7. So you are in very, very good hands with these tutors along the way. And we encourage parents to communicate any concerns or issues that they might have throughout their time with their tutors, because they are the best person for them to talk to. They see them on a daily basis, they see them first thing in the morning, and they'll be seeing them around school as well. So they will be the best ones to know what your child has been doing and know them hopefully very well while they go through the school. We also have, as part of the team, the head of Key Stage 3 Achievement and Pastoral Coordinator, which is Mrs. Richards. Now, her job is to help support your child in any pastoral capacity that she can. So be it anything from a small thing with uniform concerns to personal issues in school, as well as coordinating your child's success and accomplishments, which is a big thing we like to celebrate at Hugh Farringdon. We also have Mrs. Killick, that some of you I know have already been in contact with, who is our SENCO at Blessed Hugh Farringdon School, and she is the coordinator for the Special Educational Needs Department. We also have Mrs. Dimbleby, who is also the head of the Asperger Resource, also known as the BMW Centre, or Blessed Mary Way Centre that we have, and I know some of you again have also been in contact with her too. We will also be following up with some videos from all of these people to have a little bit more information about where they'll be, where they're situated, a little bit more information about how to find them, so that your child, if they are allocated to this tutor or part of this support team that are there, that they know where to go and who to see. So throughout the year, there will be a number of different opportunities where you will have events that will take place and that you will be invited to join and have information that can help give a clear picture of what your child is actually achieving and needing. There are transition evenings that would have taken place this term, but obviously we've had to use other methods instead to inform you of the best that we can do at school with regards to policies, tutors and support networks. We also usually tend to run a welcome mass and a curriculum evening that involves just year 7 parents and carers. This will be a point at which you could actually meet other parents, see the curriculum that your child will be following in all the subjects over the next year. We also have reports that take place and monitoring sheets 3 times in a year, where you can actually see and monitor the progress of your child and how they're excelling and may need even extra support within that year as well. Finally, we also have parents' evenings where you get the opportunity to meet your child's teachers and discuss their progress or any other concerns that you might have directly with them on a specific subject basis. Communication is a big thing for Blessed Hugh Farringdon, and we have numerous different ways in which you yourselves can communicate with us, as well as which we can communicate with you, with giving you as much information as we can. There are a number of ways you can communicate with the school and find out about events and celebrations within it. These are essential tools for school students and staff as a way of informing and communicating. You can see that we have a school website, and I'm hoping that a number of you have already been on and had a look around the school with our website. We have a group call where it's vital that we have your correct information and details so that we can actually send out a text message to yourselves about giving you an updated information, maybe about how the school is running for the day, if there's a change in some sort of after school event or fixture, and just to keep you up to date with your child on things like attendance and things like that. We also have three Twitter accounts, one for the main part of school, another one for Blessed Hugh Farringdon Sports, and another one for the sixth form area. So you can see lots of things that we like to celebrate, give you information about, all that will be found on the Twitter. Alongside Twitter, you can see at the bottom of this slide that there's YouTube, linked, and Instagram and Facebook. And we again have accounts with all of those. You can actually see more detail and bits and pieces. We're very lucky in the fact that we have a Heads Up weekly newsletter where the head teacher, Dr. Utley, is able to actually nominate a student who he feels has actually done exceptionally well. Could be in anything that staff have put forward as maybe a piece of work in a lesson. They've been exceptionally well outside in school. They've shown good community values. It could be anything that they feel that's actually done them a real good protocols with profiles and really improving how they've done and joined the school. And that will then get printed out and also sent out via e-news as well. So you can see that on the website, and you can find that in there with the links that we've got there. Now, the academic progress that we have are assessments and reporting systems. They build on approach used in your primary schools that hopefully you are familiar with. Excuse me. The priority is to track and monitor your child's progress towards their GCSE targets, which is what they would get in year 11, which has been set considering to their previous attainment through their Key Stage 2. So this is usually done upon entry, and all students are given a GCSE target. So this is something that we're not expecting them to get at the end of year 7, not at the end of Key Stage 3, but at the end of their Key Stage 4, their time at Hugh Farringdon, to move on to Key Stage 5. Our teachers will assess your child's skills in various subjects as they move throughout year 7 and year 8 and year 9, etc., and report whether they are currently developing, securing, or extending the skills needed to achieve their target. This judgment will encompass the student's holistic performance in the outside the classroom. The aim of Key Stage 3 curriculum is to equip the students with the necessary skills to achieve at a GCSE level. Now, the table that you can see there illustrates the correlation between our Key Stage 3 descriptors and the actual GCSE targets. So, for example, if a student was developing, you're looking at a GCSE grade of between 1 to 3. Securing would be between 4 to 6, and extending would be to 7 to 9. So it can give a clear indication of hopefully how your child is doing and how they expect to do later on. Setting. Now, I have had a number of questions about setting when your child comes and enters into the school. Now, we do have a way in which we've moved away from setting students when it comes to it. Your child will be taught in a mixed set. So basically, they're tutor groups that they get put in at the beginning. Maths and English do encompass some light setting within the first few years, but students are taught in their tutor groups throughout the year. It's shown that this is beneficial for the students because it both academically and pastorally, and we want your child to feel comfortable in their surroundings and being with their tutor group in majority of their lessons and throughout the day. really does give them a sense of confidence when actually taking part in lessons. It utilises the inclusive learning environment for all students and ensures that they access the same curriculum. Differentiation does take place in all lessons, and this helps make sure every child is stretched and challenged. We found that the current Year 7s and Year 8 students have shown great progress in their curriculum, as well as having more unity within their tutor groups, as I've said before. Homework. Again, this is a question I've had from some parents. Yes, we set homework. There is a homework timetable that is set out that your child will get on arrival in September, and states when they should receive homework from different subjects on different days, so that they're not bombarded with the same amount of homework on the same day and needed for the same time in which it needs to be handed in. Homework is an integral part of learning process, and I'm sure you're aware it's a vital preparation for lifelong learning. It encourages students to develop their own skills and confidence, as well as motivating them to become a more independent learner, which is what we're all striving for. It's an ideal opportunity to also develop research skills and spend time reinforcing skills and concepts that have actually been learned in lessons. In addition, it also enables the students and teachers to manage particular demands on certain things like time, such as GCSE, coursework for later on, or even project management of certain things. It gives them a great understanding of that. To access Show My Homework, you will get information on how to actually have your own information on accessing it yourself and your child. You'll be shown how to do this, and there'll also be information sent to you as well. So in your parent guide, hopefully on page 10, you'll be able to see more information on how you would access it. You can see it on the school website as well already if you want to have a little nose at that. But again, yourself and your child will actually be shown how to access the app so that you can monitor what they have and haven't done. The school is a cash-free environment, and we use something called Parent Pay that some of you may or may not be familiar with. Now, this allows parents to make payments for all school trips and the canteen services. If you are new to Parent Pay, you'll get a secure online account that will be provided for you, and you'll receive a letter and instructions again on how to activate this and how to use it. If you already have a Parent Pay account within the school already that you've got, then it's just simply a case of logging on and adding your child via a different tab on the home page. If your child wishes to use the canteen services, you must ensure that the account is kept in credit, as cash is not allowed. If you are free school meals, this will automatically be added to your account, so please don't worry about that. And through using the system, you can not only see how much your child has actually used, but also what they've bought, if you'd like to keep a track on what it is they've eaten throughout the day. Again, you can see some more information on the link that you've got down here. This is a PowerPoint that's also been sent out to yourself, so hopefully you've seen the link on that too. And please remember to apply for free school meals through the website and to fill that in so that we can have that before you start. That will make things a lot easier for us. Now, because we are a cashless school, we use a system called a biometric system, and this uses the thumbprint as a recognition of payment. So it basically incorporates the latest technology and eliminates the needs for students to carry cash or a card throughout the day, making it a little bit safer for everybody. The system recognises the thumb of your child at the tills. So once they've gone and collected their food, they go to the till and they put their thumb on the print screen, and it will recognise them and the food will be added there. However, a daily spend limit is £5 that's programmed into the system. If you wanted to change that at all, then by all means you email the business part of it and they'll finance, and they'll be able to change it for you as well. We do need consent for biometrics registration, and that's included in the data collection sheet that you should or will be receiving. So again, please make sure that that is completed and sent back, so that if your child is wanting to use the canteen at all, that is what we will need to do by getting their biometric system. They will get their biometrics done, hopefully, when we start back in September. Again, as Dr. Utley said, it all depends on how things go, and hoping to in September, we'll have them all scanned on our first few days that we are there. Moving on with the school meals, they are provided by Harrison's, an outside agency, and they are very, very good with regards to what they provide. It's very healthy, it's really a great variety, and the students do absolutely love the foods that are sent there. We provide a free breakfast in the morning from 8 a.m, sorry, my apologies. So all are available to there, so you'll even see staff in there first thing in the morning, helping themselves to some toast and some cereal. And it's usually quite a nice way to start off the day. If you have your own packed lunches they want to take in, then that's not a problem at all. They can take those. There is a space in the canteen or in the hall or outside under the canopy in the quad where they can sit with their new friends and have their lunch up there. There's also something called the pod, which is an outside catering area which has a few bits and pieces of hot food that the students can actually go and have if it's just a quick snack that they want to get rather than queuing up inside. They can use the pod that is outside on the quad too. And Mrs. Bunker is our catering manager, and usually on the evenings you'd be having tasters of what she would actually create and meet her herself. So hopefully at some point we'll be able to see if we can get you to do something along those lines. Now, school uniform. It's supplied by Valentino Schoolwear, and you should have information on this, on how to access it. You can do it through the school website. You can telephone them directly, go to their direct website or the shop that I believe is now open. But obviously you need to book in appointments for them due to what's happening at the current situation. We do have them in school as well, and they do a drop-in every Wednesday from 10:30 till 2:30 from September. But again, you will need to make sure you book in with them directly if you want to do any specific measuring or things like that, so that they can be available for you. A list of available opening dates of the shop will also be up to date on our website too, if you need to actually have a look at that. So looking at the uniform as it's beautifully displayed here, it can be found on your page 4 of your parent guides as well, so it gives you a bit more information. The school blazer, the tie are compulsory uniforms. They can be removed on hot days, but the students will be informed of whether they can do this and when they can do this. In certain lessons, they'll need permission by the staff to take them off. So obviously practical lessons like D&T and food and potentially things like art as well, they will need to take those off too. Grey trousers for boys, a banded grey skirt for girls. All trousers can be worn by the girls. And if they're wearing tights, they should be plain black, flesh or with no patterns. The V-neck maroon jumper that is there as well is an optional, might be nice for the winter for them to wear. And if they are bringing in coats, absolutely no hoodies, please. And they should have dark plain coats, not leather, not PVC and not denim. They are not permitted. You'll notice in the notes there about shoes, they should be plain black, no boots, heels, trainers or fashion shoes. They need to be practical shoes, please. And with regards to earrings, it's one pair of studded earrings that must be silver or bronze that are worn, no hoops or bits of bling that some students like to wear. Okay, so if you could make sure of that, that would be brilliant. With the school PE kit, again, you'll find this in your guide. You've got all the items that you have on there that you must have. So the polo shirt, the rugby shirt, shorts, football socks, white trainer socks. Trainers, a lot of questions about trainers. It says clear soles. The majority of trainers nowadays are clear soles and non-marking, so please don't worry too much about that. Football boots or rugby boots, they're pretty much the same thing. Please don't buy 2 pairs of boots. Either football or rugby will be fine. They can be studded or bladed, or you can even buy the Astro ones too, so that's absolutely fine, not a problem. Optional items would be the black or white long sleeved underskin or underlayer for under the polo or rugby jersey for when it's cold. The black crested tracksuit bottoms that you can see there, or the black crested fleece, which is usually worn by a lot of our students when it does get cold. Again, you can contact me about that. You can see my email address at the bottom there if there's any issues with regards to kit and accessing it. What we do say is please, please, can you label all clothing, PE kits, school uniform? And I am sure you are doing this already from primary. As a bigger school, we've got not just 180, but a surplus of that students wearing the same kit, the same uniform. So if you have your name in it, we can get it back to you as soon as possible. Any lost property can be found at reception, or you can go direct to the PE department if it's something specific with regards to PE. Haircuts. Inappropriate haircuts or colours or patterns are not permitted. This includes anything that is less than a grade 2. If you've got very long hair, it needs to be tied up, especially for things like PE and practical subjects. This is for health and safety reasons. And I'm sure I don't need to reiterate the issues that we have with incorrect colours and hair that is wrong there. So please make sure when we do meet them in September, that we know we like to have fresh cut hair, but make sure it's appropriate, please. So equipment then, again, this should be in your student guide and the parent guide. It gives you a list of the equipment that you've got there, that it should be in your child's bag every day. Now the tutors will do equipment checks, making sure that your child does have all of this equipment. Reading book is essential. Reading is some of the aspects that we have in school. So if a child needs to have time, they can actually go and do some reading if they like, or we have sessions in which they can just take a book out and do a little bit of reading themselves. So please make sure they've got reading. We have allocated slots in tutor time as well, where they can do silent reading too, which we found has been very beneficial for our students. The school bags need to make sure they're large enough to hold an A4 folder, plain dark, no pretty bright patterns, please, and make sure it's large enough to hold their equipment. Obviously, it's not too big because they need to carry it around with them all day. But ensuring that you can carry the appropriate books that they need. Excuse me. What not to bring. So we don't accept responsibility for the loss or breakage of any personal equipment. We do discourage students from bringing in mobile phones or expensive equipment. If it is deemed necessary, and I totally understand that, you know, if you want to have your child to ring you at the end of the day, etc., or give you a phone call while they're walking home or getting home, we totally understand that, and we don't ban them. We just try to say, if you are bringing them in, hand them into reception in the morning, and then you can collect them at the end of the school day. A lot of parents have asked about contacting their child. Now, the way in which you should be contacting your child if it's an emergency is through the school. So please, if you do need to contact your child, please don't try and use it through the phone, their mobile phone. Please contact the school some way, and we'll get hold of them as soon as we can. We do have rules about the phone, so if it's caught out, then a member of staff will confiscate it until the end of the day. But please, again, if you don't want to lose it, if you don't want it confiscated, or if they don't want it damaged, then please don't bring it into school. So lots of do's and don'ts. So we move back to the spirit life of BHF. So it's a very spiritual aspect that we follow here, being gospel values that we have and the BHF way. Religious education is a central part of the school curriculum. It's previously mentioned that it's part of our ethos, but it's integral to our students' learning and their development. Our relationship with God is very important to us and at the centre of everything that we do. We have a school chapel and mass that is celebrated on a weekly basis, in addition to holy days as well. Every pupil can have the opportunity to experience days of fun and prayer away from school in the forms of things like retreats and pilgrimages. We also do have meditation areas, and you can see on there how some of the aspects we put in with daily prayer at tutor, in assemblies, and whole school masses, which is celebrated amazingly through the school, and the students are fantastic at doing this. And it's a real in-depth way of us to celebrate God and our religious beliefs. With regards to sporting fixtures that we do have them throughout the year. There's just a few that is numbered there, listed there, that we have, and for any fixture that you get, letters are sent home for every fixture, be it being played at Hugh Farringdon or away. We don't ask you to pay for any money for any practices or fixtures, any travelling to or from. We have minibuses that we do that ourselves. We just ask for permission slips to be signed and that they're handed back into the PE teachers. You can also see lists of squads and results and fixture links on the school website too, so you can actually see where your child is playing, what they're playing, and for how long they're actually playing it. And even if you wanted to pop along and see them, then please, by all means, do. We have great parents that come along and cheer on their child when they're actually taking part, and it's a fantastic sight to have, and they do really relish that, which is brilliant. So if you want to do that, by all means do so. And we have the Twitter account as well that you can see at the bottom there. So sporting fixtures, we obviously celebrate all of the awards that they get and the successes they have. And this is something that we do pride ourselves on, which is recognising achievement. We do achievement assemblies every term on things like attendance, punctuality, behaviour, and contribution to the school life and the school way. It helps us to understand what our students are going through with what they are achieving, how well they're achieving, what we can provide for them in more so they can achieve more and get better and celebrate even more things. So this is, we love doing this with just not in our tutor groups and our year groups, but through the whole school and make it as recognisable as possible. We run success bus trips, which are for those pupils who have worked hard and behaved excellently in lessons all year. Each week, also, like I've said before, the headmaster has his student of the week that we have. And we also have the house system that your child will be put in. So, for example, 7DB. DB is green, I think I've got that right, and for every house point they achieve, it goes towards a charity gift fund that they can provide for too. So it's not just internal recognition, but it's also the extrinsic that they can get as well for knowing that they're actually helping others from every good thing that they do. In addition to the recognising achievement, we do school colours. School colours can be awarded to any student for a number of different reasons. It's a highly prestigious and sought after recognition by the students themselves. They love to display their colours that they get on their lapels, on their blazers. Some students have got like 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's just amazing how much they do love going up and receiving their school colours in front of their peers and basically saying, this is what I've achieved, this is what I've done, and showing other people what they can do to achieve their own school colours too. It can be something from as simple as helping to serve the school at mass, leading something in maybe scouts or guides that they do outside, volunteering to help maybe at a curriculum evening or a parents' evening, being part of sports clubs or the choir or drama club, or something as simple as that. And it can be achieved in a number of different levels depending on the dedication that the child has actually done and how long they've actually done it for and how far they've achieved it for. What else can you expect this year? So as well as all of the different aspects that I've already pointed out to you, the curriculum can bring out the best for them: spiritual, social and personal development. We have a number of charity activities that will take place throughout the year, numerous after school activities that I have mentioned, so sports, drama, music and so much more that does take place. We are always looking for new and uplifting ways in which we can incorporate our students to have a much more fulfilled experience at school, which is a more variety in which they can understand for when it leads them to later on in life. So last few bits and pieces then, attendance. So attendance is, I'm sure you're aware, is not only required by law, but essential if pupils are making progress. Minimum expectation that we have is 96%, but anything higher than that is brilliant, absolutely fantastic. Poor attendance has increasingly serious effects, and pupils, as they get older, they eventually makes it harder for them to catch up or achieve. So if your child is absent, we ask you to inform the school as quickly as you can, and to make sure that we're aware that they won't be attending and maybe for how long they'll be off. Holiday requests will be refused, so please do not take them out in term time. And any absences for long periods, we will actually send work home. And if you can inform your tutor if it's a long absence, that would be great, and that would come back to us. Attendance and punctuality come hand in hand. Students must arrive at school on time. If they're late to lessons, then obviously there'll be sanctions for that later on. But this just sets them up for later on in life and for the world of work, so that they know that they're on time to school, on time in between lessons, and they're used to doing this. Expectations of students is also highlighted in the student guide. Not only is enjoyment is essential for them and their supplies, but to make their most of their time here, that they engage in different things that they wouldn't normally do, that they work hard, cooperate with the teachers so that they are learning and not stopping others from learning, and be proud of the fact that, you know, they've started at Blessed Hugh Farringdon School. They should be proud to wear our uniform. They're proud to be part of the school, part of our community, and talk to someone if in school they are unhappy about anything. It's really important they do talk to anybody if they are unhappy, or even if they are celebrating something and happy with something. We love to hear from the students. And our expectations of yourselves as parents and carers, that you support us in helping to develop your child academically, socially. Talk to us, give us as much information as we can so that we can work together. Check SIMS, check Show My Homework regularly, making sure that your child is at school at 8:40 at the latest. They're in the right uniform, you know, all the things that I know you are already doing now, you've done already for your child all the way through primary school, but continue to do that at secondary. So we are really setting them up for the best that they can. And please ensure that we have the right contact details and mobile information, so that if we do need to contact you, whether it's for emergencies or celebrations, we can actually get hold of you. And then hopefully this is our success equation, that if we work together, we have success of your child. And that is our main aim that we have, that all students are successful. They have experience of the spiritual growth they have here, and that we have an enrichment academically and personally, and hopefully to leave at the end of sixth form as well-rounded young people for life. Thank you so much for listening. That is me, that I hope that I haven't waffled on too much and given you as much information as I can. I hope it's helped and answered maybe a few questions and concerns I've already received. So I would like to now hand over to, I believe it would be either Dr. Utley or Mr. Windsor, who'll go through any questions that we've had come through during this session.
Big thanks to Mr. Windsor and to Ms. Heaver and to the team and to Mr. Ashley. This is the first time we've done this format, and I was just going to say that there will be the odd glitch, as has just been demonstrated, but nevertheless, we've come through this, and I hope that we've answered at least some of your questions this evening. It's been great to see the questions being asked by people this evening, and the responses as well. And as Mr. Windsor said, any additional questions that you have, we will get them turned around and back to you as quick as we possibly can do. This is a big step from year 6 into year 7 for every year. This year particularly, we know it's an additional kind of certain amount of questions about how things are going to be. We're all in that situation, just like your primary school staff are with your children at the moment. We're all trying to find our way forward, but we are moving forward. As a school, we're doing all the normal planning for next year, putting things in place. We're spending almost £1 million on improving the school with infrastructure. That's happening right now and over the summer. We had a similar expenditure last year, so it's all about investing in the school. School's a growing school. It's a school of 180 in the year group now, rather than 150. So there's lots happening at Blessed Hugh at the same time as we're going through these difficult times. I think what Ms. Heaver said about your child's experience at school and what we want to do and to keep in contact with you is very, very important. I would just say this, that, you know, we are fastidious. We are relentless in making sure that these details are followed, the uniform, particularly punctuality and attendance and so on. And I'm aware it might sound like lots of rules and regulations, but once those things are in place, they're forgotten about. The vast majority of our students come to school. They know that they've got to be immaculately dressed to get through the school gate. They know they've got to be on time. These things are just taken for granted because they know what to do. So please don't think that all these rules and regulations are the things that keep us awake at night, because they're not. But there are still a number of reasons why we do require a set of expectations, as I'm sure you'd appreciate. But please remember this, I'm speaking to the children particularly now, there's always people at school who are there to help you. When you go to the school, you start at the school, you get lost, you might be afraid, you might be worried about homework, you might be worried about getting in trouble. Your form tutor, the members of staff, anyone in the school will help you. We know what it's like to be new at the school. I know what it was like 4 years ago to be new at the school, and I was the head teacher. So we know it's a bit strange. So when you come in September, we'll be very patient with you and help you to find your feet and to feel comfortable and to feel really confident about being in the school. And typically it takes about a couple of weeks, and then people feel that they've been here forever. So I hope that this evening has been helpful to you. Thanks again to all the team, and thank you to you for coming along this evening to our webinar. Please look forward to our next videos coming out to you as well. And in the meantime, if we can do anything at all to answer any questions, please don't hesitate to email us, let us know, or phone us. Email's probably better at the moment because there's a limited amount of staff in school for the obvious reasons of COVID-19. So email us and we'll get that thing back to you. But for now, have a good evening, and thank you very much.